Reeves Immigration Law Group now brings you Immigration Law on Your Side.
Magandang gabi mga kababayan. Welcome to another Immigration Law on Your Side right here at PHLV Radio. Last na nagkita-kita po tayo was before the elections and now we're coming to you on the other side of the election day. And as you know, record numbers po mga kaibigan ang pumunta sa polls para bumoto and ang projected winner, as you all know, ay ang dating Vice President Joe Biden. Kaya minabuti po natin mga kababayan na dito sa Immigration Law on Your Side, pag-usapan natin ngayon what the Biden immigration plan is. And of course, as usual, kasama po natin from Reeves Immigration Law Group, nandoon po mga kaibigan sa Bay Area, sa San Francisco Bay Area, si Attorney Flomi Javier Diza ng Reeves Immigration Law Group. Magandang gabi sa iyo, Attorney.
Good evening, Johan, at again to all viewers and listeners natin, magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat at patuloy po kayong makinig at manood sa aming programa Immigration Law on Your Side at very timely yung ating pag-uusapan ngayon dahil we're not going to discuss the important immigration plans ng President-elect Joe Biden, and also we're going to assess, Kuya Yo, kung ito'y ba ay posible at madaling implement, mahirap ba o imposible. So yun po ang ating pag-uusapan ngayon. Discuss natin yung mga 6 of the most important immigration plan ng ating President-elect Joe Biden.
Nako, maganda po yan maganda po yan, Attorney, dahil alam nyo, excited at marami pong mga opinyon ng ating mga kababayan, kaya mabuti pa pong talagang isa-isahin natin ang mga plano na yan. As you said, some of them are possible, doable, ang iba ba ay imposible. So alamin natin. So Attorney, ano po ba ang plano ng ating President-elect Joe Biden regarding immigration?
Yes, if you're going to compare, Kuya Yo, before we proceed with those important immigration plans ng Pangulong Biden and of course yung President-elect Biden at President Trump, magkalayo po sila, ano? At siyempre depende kung saang side of the coin ka, no? If you are pro-immigrant, of course, pinagdaanan mo yung hirap ng mga immigration orders and immigration policies ng Pangulong Trump. At ang President Biden naman ay unang-una sa mga importante alamin natin yung mga reform na gagawin niya. Number one would be yung family-based immigration reform. It has been a long time, Kuya Yo, na ang yung preference category, it takes about 10 to 25 years yung waiting time. And most of the time, during the process, either kinamatayan nung petitioner, di ba? So mahirap na makarating dito yung mga beneficiary, or may mga issues din na nag-aasawa yung mga beneficiary that would make them ineligible to get the green card, or yung mga apo o yung mga kailangan dumati, yung mga hindi pa pinapanganak or mga minor pa nung pinetition nag-age out. So there are certain issues na ganun ang nangyayari na even prior to President Trump, yun na yung problema. But one of the plan ng President-elect Biden is to make those beneficiaries come to the United States on a non-immigrant visa. At habang nandito, as long as na-approve na yung petition, dito na nila hintayin yung priority date. So it seems like this is a very, very good idea. Pero kung bibigyan mo ng non-immigrant or a tourist visa, non-immigrant visa for those people, like millions of beneficiaries to come here, it looks like parang mahirap gawin. And I'm not sure if the Congress will approve that. But we have to see and find out, pag nag-inaugurate or naging presidente na si Joe Biden. Yun yung una niyang reform sa immigration, sa family base. Pangalawa, dun sa family base ay yung sa petition ng non-immigrant na magulang or petition din ng magulang dun sa minor children, no? It used to be 5 years ang waiting time until only recently nagiging current yung priority date. Sa mga breaking news natin at discussion din natin, di ba, na ang current na ang petition ng F2A or petition from a lawful permanent resident parent to a spouse or to a minor child. Now, this seems to be doable and possible, Kuya Yo, dahil ngayon, kung nasa United States yung beneficiary, pwede na actually i-apply ng adjustment of status. So, this is going to be okay. Ang maganda lang sa nasa Pilipinas is that even if even if the priority date is available, ang problema dyan yung waiting time for the priority date kasi magkaiba po yan eh. So mas matagal ang priority date ng green card holder lang kaysa sa US citizen. Now, if you look at the processing time ngayon ng green card holder is 2 years. So kahit sabihin mong current yan or available, hindi pa makakarating kaagad dito yung beneficiary dahil mayroong waiting time or processing time. So hopefully, if this is implemented, Kuya Yo, mas mapabilis din, right, ang reunification ng family members doon sa petition ng green card holder. And I think this is doable.
Hmm. That's amazing because if the objective is really to keep families together, makakatulong po ito, ano, attorney?
That's true, that's true. And yung unang policy or proposal nila na darating dito yung beneficiary para dito hintay yung priority date. Actually nangyari na yan in the past, Kuya Yo eh. Unang-una nung panahon ni Bill Clinton, yung tinatawag na K3, parang fiancé yan eh. So let's say green card holder pinetition yung asawa or minor child, right? May waiting time, as I said, 5 years noon. So pag finalan sa asawa at maghintay ng 5 taon, ang ginawa ni Clinton was that, so pwede ka mag-apply ng K3 para pumasok ka as a non-immigrant and then dun mo sa Amerika hintayin yung priority date mo. Let's say, naka-1 taon ka na sa Pilipinas, 4 na taon pa yan, you live with your spouse or parent, dito naman hintayin, dito ka na mag-green card. Yun yung unang scenario na nangyari in the past. Now, pangalawa would be yung World War II veteran parole, right? So, pinag-usapan din natin yun na like yung petition ng magulang to a married children takes about 21 years, ano? Kung yung veterano, binigyan silang special law, right, or of policy where in recognition of their great service to the country, binibigyan sila ng opportunity na mapabilis, mapapunta dito yung kanilang anak, right, while waiting for their priority date to become available to care for them. So yun yung pangalawang scenario where inallow yung mga beneficiaries to wait for the priority date to become current in the United States. So if this is going to be approved and this is going to happen, Kuya, it's a very good relief sa ating mga kababayan na may mga petition. So paalala sa mga hindi pa nagpa-file, sa mga anak na may asawa na or even yung mga unmarried children or mga kapatid, who knows, pag nag-file natin na approve yan in 2 to 3 years to 4 years, instead of waiting for another 20 years, baka makarating po sila dito, sooner than that waiting time.
Wow. So napakagandang balita nga ito. Pero attorney, assuming they're given non-immigrant visas while waiting for their green cards here in the States, are they able to work o hindi?
Well, the examples that were given a while ago, ito yung K3, and also yung World War II veteran parole, yes, binibigyan po sila ng work authorization para maging productive naman sila habang nandito sila sa US while waiting for the actual green card. And they're also able to go home. I mean, those are the benefits ng binibigyan sila ng opportunity to come here on that non-immigrant visa.
Okay. So anyway, they will become productive members of society aside from the fact na nakakatulong na sila, especially doon sa yung World War II veteran na tatay nila or lolo nila. At least natutulungan na nila while waiting for their priority date. Okay. So ano pa po ba, attorney, ang iba pang nasa on the horizon as far as the Biden immigration plan is?
Yes, sa tingin ko, yung sa aking assessment dun sa kanyang plan, pangalawa dito that affects ating mga kababayan would be yung employment based reform, reforming the employment based visa. As we all know, ang dami ring mga attacks about the and policies affecting yung employment visa. As we said, the Trump administration is not only against illegal immigrants, undocumented or overstay, but also attacking legal migration to the effect na pinapahirapan yung mga filings, magkakaroon sila ng unreasonable request for evidence, yung mga ganyan. But also the Biden tends to reform yung immigration employment base. Unang-una, he's in favor of the temporary worker, yung H-1B. Yung H-1B alone, ang daming restriction yan, Kuya Yo, di ba? Unang-una, yung quota na 65,000. The Biden plan was to add more of the 65,000 kasi he recognizes the importance of professionals in the US. So, pangalawa, once you are with the H1B, kasi employment driven yan, Kuya Yo, at saka specific employment specific yan, di ba? So na-stuck ka sa employer mo. So the Biden plan was to allow yung mga beneficiary workers to transfer employers while waiting for the green card nila. So that's also the plan. Now very importantly then, Kuya Yo, yung cities and counties, parang binibigyan sila ng parang special kind of visa din sa mga workers, foreign workers to come here para matulungan sila. And that's a very good thing. If lalo na ang Las Vegas area, marami tayong mga teachers diyan, 'di ba, na employed or hired by county as special educators. Marami tayong kliyente diyan sa area ng Nevada and under J1. So ang J1 medyo strict din kasi yan dahil may mga restrictions yan kagaya ng they have to go, hindi sila pwedeng mag-adjust ng status, kasi merong 2 years residency na they have to go back, and won't be able to adjust its status. They have to go back home for 2 years and come back again kung merong kung mayroon pang employer na magpe-petition sa kanila. So that one of the better proposal, yung counties and cities are given parang special visas for foreigners to work with them. That's a very good thing. I think this would attract not only Democrats but Republicans as well. Alam natin yung scarcity of professionals sa mga cities and counties, so I think this will be very helpful at I hope ma-implement ito. Now, aside from this implement based yung mga PhDs, yung mga nakapagtapos ng mga PhDs and master's or higher education, the Biden plan was also to give them parang green card, which is currently ang batas is that kahit nagtapos po kayo ng ilang PhDs or ilang masterals, kung wala po kayong employer, di ba? So hindi ka rin makakakuha ng green card. So may mga client then that they just come here going back to school, nakatapos na ng ilang bachelors o nakailang masterals na sila, wala namang employer. So even if there are employers, sometimes kind of difficult because they cannot just hire you because just on your what do you call this, on your bachelor's degree. So pwede kang i-hire bachelor kaya lang maraming kakompetensya, right? So kung i-hire ka based on your education like a PhD graduate, of course, ang katumbas doon is babayaran mo rin siya ng mas mataas. So yun yung problema, right, sa mga employers. But the Biden administration recognizes that if one has a PhD or higher education and graduate in the United States, binibigyan po ng priority for the green card. So isa sa mga plan niya sa employment-based immigration.
Mm-hmm. These PhDs, these doctoral degrees, attorney, kailangan ba US-based yan or kahit po sa labas ng Amerika?
I think ang sinasabi ng Biden plan is that even if the PhDs can be taken even outside the United States. So kung PhD kayo sa Pilipinas, higher education kayo sa India or any other countries, that would be very helpful po sa inyo.
Parang siguro meron lang parang equivalency in the US program, po, attorney. And alam niyo po, attorney, of course, marami tayong nakikinig sa Philippines and marami sa Pilipinas ang may mga PhD, may mga doctoral degrees in different fields. Is this field specific? Like mga science and technology lang ba ito or any doctoral degree?
Well, any doctoral degree and yung science, technology, yung STEM, mathematics, economics, and mathematics, those are also included. Very importantly, of course, yung graduate ng STEM, right? And also PhD. So either way, we will have to explore then. These are the plans that are to be implemented. So titignan pa rin natin yung mga policies and executive orders kung magkakaroon man nito. But I think, if this going forward, Kuya Yo, as you mentioned, maraming matutulungan mga kababayan natin dito.
Mm-hmm. And not only that, I think this will help our kababayans, but of course, bringing in this highly educated labor force in the United States ay makakatulong sa ekonomiya. Ano po, attorney?
Yes.
Well,
That's yeah, that's the principal reason
Mhm.
why the Biden plan was to accept yung mga STEM and PhD graduates.
In essence, for us to be able to compete with the world, to
That's correct. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yes.
Right, right, right. Attorney, isa po sa mga mainit na itinanong kaagad sa atin regarding the Biden immigration plan. As soon as there was a projection a few days ago, itong pinag-uusapan nating palaging DACA. So what happens to DACA, Attorney?
Yes, that's the number three that I mentioned, I enumerated dun sa plan ng President-elect Biden. It's yung DACA, yung TPS, saka yung Comprehensive Immigration Reform. So yung unahin natin yung DACA, Kuya Yo, definitely poprotektahan yan. The good thing about this is siyempre continuous yung extension, yung mga or renewal ng mga existing DACA holders. Not only that, Kuya Yo, yung mga eligible pa, if you remember, there was a Supreme Court decision saying na illegal yung termination ni President Trump ng DACA, but they didn't mention whether the law is legal or not, di ba? So the Trump administrations refused to admit or to accept yung mga new applicants. So hopefully during the Biden administration, kasi marami pa rin, Kuya Yo, ang mga eligible, yung mga first timers, di ba?
Mhm.
Kasi nung 2000 na-implement siya ng 2012, at nagkaroon ng injunction, nagkaroon ng mga courts, and eventually nagkaroon ng sinasabi pwede kang mag-renew but hindi ka na pwedeng mag-apply kung first timer ka. Right? So marami diyan kasi nga mayroon kasing age requirement diyan. You need to be at least is it 15 years old or 17 years old, depende kung nasa immigration court ka o hindi. So yung mga bata pa na pinanganak wala pa sa edad nung pinagbawal yung pag-file ng new applicants, hopefully posible na during Biden's time. Now, aside from that, the Biden immigration plan on DACA is also to give protection sa mga magulang. Now, during one of our discussions, Kuya, napag-usapan din natin na yung mga DACA recipients, mostly sa kanila, magulang, wala ring papel. Right? Just because kung mga minor de edad dyan, right, at may mga parents sila dito na nasa green card holder or US citizen, definitely masasama sila. So it's kind of obvious na make the conclusion na pag walang status yung nasa DACA status yung anak at nandito yung magulang, most likely, right, wala ring papel ang magulang. But that applies mostly sa mga Southern Americans that you came here illegally. Pero for Filipinos, Kuya Yo, that doesn't apply kasi yung mga magulang dito, di ba, na either may mga petition, nag-age out lang yung anak, right? So hindi na nasama sa petition. So hopefully, whether may papel ang magulang ng DACA, it's still a good news, right? Under the Biden plan kasi sa mga plano is bibigyan din sila ng path to citizenship. And hopefully it's not only the renewal or admission or application of new DACA application, but also, giving them path to citizenship. And again, as we mentioned, ito ba'y posible? Madali lang yan kasi executive order, di ba? I-reverse lang ng Biden administration. Executive order ni Obama, through another executive order ni Trump, baga dineclare niyang binaliwala yung DACA, pero of course the court hold the validity ng DACA. During Biden time, I think kailangan lang i-re-implement siya. The other question is yung path to citizenship ng mga DACA kasi it needs a congressional approval. Now, assessing the election result, Kuya Yo, di ba, nasa tie pa rin yung Democrat and Republican and magkakaroon ng runoff election sa Georgia, dalawa rin yan. So if either Democrat wins, then probably they hold majority of the Senate, right? And nasa majority rin ang House, and we have a Democrat president, and who knows, right? Probability of path to citizenship for DACA recipients or DACA holders are possible, depending on the outcome of the runoff election in Georgia.
Isa sa mga pinag-usapan natin, Attorney, a couple of weeks ago, itong comprehensive immigration reform. Now, with the new administration coming into play, what is your take on this comprehensive immigration reform, Attorney?
It's always a very exciting topic, Kuya Yo, ang comprehensive immigration reform sa mga undocumented, sa mga walang papel, and immigration attorneys like us, di ba? Kasi para kang nakakuha ng nanalo ng jackpot, right? If an immigration reform is there, because andyan yung practice mo in a lifetime siguro na darating yung oportunidad na ganon where there's an influx of clients, coming to you, right? And hopefully, these are not easy or this not super difficult and not super easy kasi otherwise magkakaroon din ng mga paralegal or mga, alam mo yon, gumagawa sa on the side o nag-aabogado na hindi abogado. But nonetheless, as I mentioned, ang comprehensive immigration reform is always an exciting and it's always, a dream, for everyone else, attorneys and undocumented. The question is it possible, right, or to achieve? And again, as we mentioned in the past, ang last nito is yung panahon pa ni Reagan where there's a blanket immigration reform, right, na walang gaanong restriction. Ang restriction lang is, all people who enter before 1982, bibigyan namin ng green card, di ba? Parang ang sarap naman nun, di ba? Sasabihin, all people who enter the United States before maybe, I don't know what year, maybe 2015, right, will give a green card. I'm not sure if they're going to approve that, as we mentioned, if depending on the Senate, the majority, who holds the majority in the Senate, right? Kasi most likely, Johan, if the Republican still holds the Senate under Mitch McConnell, most likely walang comprehensive immigration reform. Now, assuming that either way, either Republican still holds majority in Senate o magkakaroon ng Democrat majority in the Senate, titingnan pa rin yan siguro yung ano yung mga kondisyones, di ba? Like magkakaroon ng e-verification, you have to pay your taxes, or probably, magkakaroon ng cut-off date, right? O bibigyan din of people who have been paying taxes for this amount of time, amount of year, baka ganun din ang mga condition na ibibigay. So it's not simple as like the Reagan blanket immigration reform, but there might be some conditions attached to this green card, comprehensive immigration reform green card.
At maganda na rin yun na merong those in place para fair, like what you said, mandatory e-verify, and they've been paying taxes for a certain number of years. So matagal pa itong malaki pang pag-uusapan nito, Attorney. I'm sure in the next months, pag-uusapan natin itong issue ito here at Immigration Law on Your Side. Mga kaibigan, sa mga late tuners po, kayo po ay nakikinig at nanonood sa Immigration Law on Your Side. Hatid po sa atin ng Reeves Immigration Law Group right here at PHLV Radio. Ako po si Kuya Yo ng PHLV Radio sa Las Vegas. Kasama ko po si Attorney Flomi Javier Diza ng Reeves Immigration Law Group. We will head over to a break, pero pagbalik natin, huwag kayong bibitiw mga kaibigan. Isa sa pinakamainit na pinag-usapan over the past 3.5 years or so is the wall. Build that wall, the Great Mexican Wall. Pag-uusapan natin ano po ang mangyayari sa wall na yan na napag-usapan at napakainit na pinag-usapan over the past 3.5 years sa pagbabalik po ng Immigration Law on Your Side right here at PHLV Radio. Diyan na po kayo.
Reeves Immigration Law Group has been representing immigrants for nearly 40 years. Reeves Immigration Law Group has been fighting for its clients through experience and expertise. With immigration lawyers you can access at reasonable fees even on Saturday. Payment plans are also available. Call us for your immigration solutions. We can do worldwide telephone and Skype consultations. Reeves Immigration Law Group, 1-800-795-8009. Reeves Immigration Law Group has offices in Los Angeles, San Francisco, China, and Philippines. See us at www.rreeves.com. Reeves Immigration Law Group, 1-800-795-8009.
Mga kaibigan, welcome back to Immigration Law on Your Side right here at PHLV Radio. Nanggagaling po ako sa Las Vegas, Nevada, ang PHLV Radio. Si Attorney Diza naman po ay nandoon sa Bay Area sa California, sa Reeves Immigration Law Group. Bago po tayo nag-break, medyo sinabi ko po na ano po ba itong wall? Is the Great Wall that the Mexico was supposed to pay for now a thing of the past, Attorney?
It is a thing of the past, Kuya Yo, and we're glad that, natapos din yan or mawawala din yan because during Trump's campaign, he said that Mexico will pay for it. But, ang nangyari naman, it's the US government. Actually, there was a diversion of fund from the military to to build the wall. So most likely in Biden's immigration plan, stop na ito, Kuya Yo. And not only for the yung wall and yung enforcement, what we have to look at the reforming the enforcement in immigration, no, yung immigration custom enforcement, kasama yung CBP, yung sa border patrol, and also yung immigration judges. As we all know, backlog masyado ang mga cases, if, as I mentioned to you in the past, where clients has to wait for 5 to 10 years yung kanilang cases to be heard in immigration courts. It's a good thing for people who have no relief, right? But it's not a good thing for people who have a good relief, or they're just awaiting for the green card. So hopefully the Biden administration will secure the independence of judiciary, as or the immigration court. As we discussed in the past, ang immigration judges are under the executive branch, right? Under Department of Justice sila. Hindi kagaya sa atin sa Pilipinas na separate ang judges where they are under the Supreme Court. So co-equal sila ng executive. But unlike immigration judges where they're under the Department of Justice, na under din ng presidente. So minsan yung mga policies ng immigration judges, the Attorney General, under the Board of Immigration Appeals, pwede niyang i-certify yung case sa kanya and decide the case and make policies. Policies, memorandums, stuff like that, pwede niyang baguhin by the snap of the finger ng Attorney General. So hopefully this will be reformed and ensuring the integrity and independence of the immigration courts, and also dagdagan, Kuya Yo, yung mga immigration judges to make sure na mabilis ang pag-hear ng mga cases. As we all know, kasabihan natin is justice delayed is also justice denied, lalo kung matagal na yan. At there are many things that will happen, no, pag naghihintay ka ng court hearings, kasi may mga qualifying relative ka na dapat buhay, right? By the time mag-hearing ka, and what if this qualifying relative pass away, and stuff like that, and it's going to be difficult para sa mga beneficiaries to get a green card if that happens.
Mhm. Okay. So, isa pa, attorney, sa mga napag-usapan natin over the previous months, itong protections para sa mga asylum seekers and refugees. Are we seeing any changes sa larangan na ito, attorney?
Yes, definitely. It's a big issue din ng asylum, Kuya Yo, lalong-lalo yung separation of families, di ba? People are coming to the United States escaping persecution, di ba? Because mga gang-related, mga drug-related problems, lalo na sa southern border, right? Mexico, Nicaragua, El Salvador, and other nationalities. They're escaping persecution. Marami sa mga kamag-anak lang na mamatay, and of course they have to bring their families with them. And then at the border, during Trump's time, although nag-umpisa ito kay President Obama, right, yung pinaprosecute or pinagsasama naman nila yung family during Obama's time. Nangyari lang kasi nung panahon ni Trump, pinaghiwalay niya. He was punishing the parent for coming to the US to seeking asylum. So instead of them, applying for asylum at the border during Trump's time, parang remain in Mexico. Hindi ka pwede pumasok dito, parang nasa Mexico ka while waiting for your asylum to be heard. Asylum case to be heard. Now, I think yung policy na yan will be scrapped or babawalain ng Pangulong Biden. If there's a credible fear, if you apply for asylum at the border, may mga asylum officers naman tayo doon who would hear the case, and if there's a credible fear, right, pwede silang i-hear sa judge. So while they are here in the US waiting for their cases, nandito sa America, and hopefully they're able to work, and they have to be heard by the judge. And if the judge determines na yes, you are actually seeking persecution, or from your home country, bibigyan sila ng asylum. So hopefully that also happens. And not only that, not only reforming the asylum and stopping the tawag nito yung sa Mexico migration policy, dyan sa Mexico lang sila, dadagdagan pa, Kuya Yo, yung mga refugees dito, kasi during President Trump's din, binawasan niya yung mga number of asylum, binigyan na ng quota, and the Biden immigration plan plans to increase the number of asylum grants in the United States, or seekers coming to the United States.
Mhm. Isa po, Attorney Pa, sa mga may init na napag-usapan over the past 3.5 years or so, itong Muslim travel ban. And isa ito actually sa mga ipinadala ng ating mga listeners and viewers. And they wanted to find out what is the take of the Biden administration dito sa Muslim travel ban na ito.
It might also be the end, the thing of the past, Kuya Yo, in Biden's administration. If you recall, President Trump, made three executive orders, right, or presidential proclamations banning Muslim-dominated countries. Mayroong travel ban Muslim ban 1, number 2, and number 3. Yung number 3, ito yung upheld ng US Supreme Court. So most likely iyaan ang mangyayari, most likely mawawala yung travel ban, hopefully. The thing with this ban, Kuya Yo, if you're going to assess yung mga applicants entering the US, to in the name of national security, right? May mga paraan naman sila to find out, right? Kung ito yung mga to ay member ng terrorist organization or will just come here to commit a crime. May mga tinatawag tayong ang tawag nito, may mga inspections naman, may mga background history, right? The US government has all the resources, before issuing the visa anyway, right? Like a regular Filipino applicant going to the embassy. That's why when you apply for any kind of visa, may mga advance application ka na online eh. And that's the role of the embassy, consular officers to evaluate, to review, to do a background check to any applicants. So we're not just singling out mga Muslims dito, but anyone else entering the United States. We have all the resources to find out people coming to the United States if they are, member of terrorist organization or a, syndicated group. So hopefully, and again, it's one of the plan ng Biden administration is to also end this Muslim ban. So ito yung mga anim na importanteng immigration plan ng President-elect Biden, Kuya Yo, and we're going to find out, after January 20th, if it's going to be proclaimed, if it's going to be inaugurated. Of course, we are hopeful and confident that there is going to be a smooth transition, although apparently as of the moment, right, medyo hindi pa clear sa atin lahat if President Trump is going to, make it easy or give way to President-elect Biden's, easy transition into the White House and presidency, and hopefully implement all those immigration plans.
At the start of the program, Attorney, na-outline nyo yung tatlong pwedeng mangyari sa iba't ibang mga immigration policies or direction. One is the possible. These are the possible ones, madaling gawin. The other one naman ay yung flip side nito, yung very, very difficult. But still, probably pwede pa rin mangyari. And as you have outlined, some of them are probably impossible. What do you think about all these things, Attorney? What makes it possible, difficult, and impossible in the first place?
Well, we're hoping, Kuya Yo, the Biden immigration are very helpful sa mga immigrants, undocumented, out of status, seeking green card, seeking employment in the United States. Those are very helpful sa lahat. We're hoping and praying that, this will be made possible by the Biden administration. But assessing from the standpoint of an immigration attorney, been practicing for almost 20 years, right? And the firm has been here for almost 40 years. And we have seen how immigration works. The thing is that the assurance sa ating mga kababayan is that yung DACA, definitely, that's easy, right? As we mentioned, executive order yan, hopefully ibalik nila yung DAPA, yung Deferred Action for Parental Authority. Kasi kung titignan mo sa plan ni Biden is that also not only the dreamers but also their parents, right? So yung parents, hopefully mabibigyan sila ng counterpart as sa DACA. So yung may mga nandito na hindi pwede mag-green card because of their status, pwede silang, makakuha rin ng work authorization. So those are easy, Kuya Yo, those are possible, and also yung sa family base where green card holder will petition the spouse and minor children right away. That's also possible because we've been doing here in, when they are here in the US, the priority date is available and they can easily and readily adjust status. Now, yung difficult naman, of course, yung depende sa Congress yan, right? Kung manalo nga yung nung runoff sa Georgia senatorial elections, kung manalo ang Democrat dyan, or kung matalo sila, it's going to be difficult, lalo na kung kailangan ng congressional approval, kagaya dyan ng mga pag-increase ng quota ng employment base, right? Instead of 65,000 lang, gagawing 150,000 or stuff like that. The president, President-elect Biden can still try to do an executive order, in a way, because as a president, we discussed this, right? The president is an integral part of the immigration system. He's the executive branch. He implements the law. Yung nandun na lang doon, kailangan lang niyang implement. Depende sa interpretasyon. But of course, many anti-immigrants advocate then, of course, parang maswitch lang yon. They go to court and question the validity of these executive orders. Now, the difficult part, I'm not being pessimist here, right? Yung comprehensive immigration reform, right? Especially so if, we don't have a majority of Democrats in the Senate, right? So this might be very impossible. Now, also, yung sa petitioning family members, Kuya Yo, under the preference category na instead of waiting sa home country nila, yung priority date to become available, right? From 10 to 23 years, upon approval, yung proposal is for them to come here on an immigrant visa. Again, I'm not being pessimist, but this might be impossible because I don't know under what visa, unless, again, it needs congressional approval, right? Anong visa sila darating, right? As a tourist visa, I don't think that works because tourist visa is only given a temporary stay, right? Hindi rin sila pwedeng mag-work kung yun ang bibigay sa kanila. There must be kind of visa, as we mentioned, a while ago, kagaya ng K3 or kagaya ng World War II veteran parole, World War II veteran parole for children of Filipino veterans. So yun ang nakikita nating as yung ating assessment sa Biden plan. There are possible to implement, they're easy to implement, but there might be also it's gotta be a long and winding road, to implement yung ibang proposal ng President-elect Biden.
Well, at least we outlined to our audience, mga listeners and viewers natin, ang plano. And as you can see, mga kababayan, marami ito. And here at Immigration Law on Your Side, from time to time, as the news comes out, nilalabas naman po ni Attorney Diza sa kanyang mga social media pages and also at the website of Reeves Immigration Law Group kung ano po ang mga latest development. Kaya po, palagi pong tumutok dito sa Immigration Law on Your Side. Attorney, kung itong ating mga kababayan, not only mga kababayan, but everybody who actually at this point in time, I'm sure they have a lot of questions, not only in immigration, but all the other aspects of this transition. If they have questions about immigration, can they reach out to your office again, attorney? And ano po yung mga pamamaraan?
Yes, Kuya, unang-una maraming salamat for inviting me here at PHLV Radio, rendering public service sa ating mga kababayan, giving them the updates in immigration. Ang law firm namin, Reeves Immigration Law Group, consists of several attorneys. There are more than 10 of us, and most of us are immigration law specialists. At this time, we still render free legal consultation either by telephone, by Zoom, by Skype, Messenger. Call us at 415-568-3777 at visit our website www.reeves.com. Check our social media then. Meron kaming Reeves Immigration Law Group. There's also my personal updates on immigration at FJ Diza Attorney, Immigration Attorney. And also you can, you'll be assured that we have attorney-client confidentiality, whatever your questions would be.
Maraming salamat, Attorney Diza. of course, more than ever, this is, the episode after the election, talagang exciting. And I'm sure our next episode, kung ano na naman ang mangyayari, ay medyo mainit na naman ang pag-uusapan po natin. So, mga kaibigan, we will have Attorney Diza once again here at PHLV Radio. So, mga kababayan, kung meron po kayong mga tanong, kung meron kayong mga suggestions, padala nyo lamang po dito sa PHLV Radio. You can comment it down below as we're streaming, or you can send us a letter here at PHLV Radio. We're at 3909 South Maryland Parkway, Suite 215, Las Vegas, Nevada 89115. And email din po, info@phlvradio.com. Attorney, bago tayo mamaalam, mukhang medyo mas malamig na dyan ngayon sa Bay Area, ano?
Yeah, it's getting colder, Kuya Yo. It's November. We're almost the mid of November. It's almost Christmas time, Kuya Yo. Ilang tulog na lang, di ba? Christmas time na naman. Hopefully, we're going back to normal. And it's a good news this week then, right? That there's a vaccine for COVID, hopefully, para makatulong din despite the uprise, yung uptick ng COVID cases. Hopefully, this vaccine will help a lot at babalik na tayo sa normalcy. Right? At sana lahat okay, balik na tayo sa normal with travel, with vacations, with everything.
Of course, we remain hopeful, but just last night, the governor of Nevada has taken into social media and, of course, also on mainstream media, and he was suggesting the Stay at Home 2.0 dahil nga sa itong pagtaas ng mga kaso again. But in any case, mga kababayan, mag-ingat po tayong lahat. Let's be as like what the attorney always says, let's be part of the solution rather than add to the problem. so ano po, attorney, Skype pa rin po ba tayo or mga Zoom sa mga consultations natin?
Yes, Kuya, wala pa tayong in-office consultation. We always comply with the CDC guidelines and local regulations, 20 to 30% capacity ang pumapasok sa opisina, mga 3 times a week ang pagpunta ng office. Sa mga ibang cases naman sa mga immigration courts and immigration offices, we also represent people there, represent clients by telephone. Pag hindi maiwasan, kung siyempre mga client, they want us to hold their hands, right? Pag nasa immigration court sila and immigration offices, we do go there. But I'm assuring you that the immigration courts and immigration offices are also exercising, tawag nito, full consideration dun sa pandemic at ilan lang ang ilan lang mga taong ini-invite din. So very safe po, I hope, very safe. I have experienced it, I have seen it, na hindi maraming tao ang nandoon at they do have all those, face mask implementation and andun lahat yung mga hand sanitizers, and there are only few people going to the interview.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so once again, attorney, maraming salamat. It's always a pleasure having you here at PHLV Radio. I'm sure sa kalagitnaan between our episodes, I'm sure may mga developments yan. Makaasa po kayo mga kaibigan that Reeves Immigration Law Group will keep you posted on what's going on. Yung mga visa bulletin and other news na pinapalabas po ng ating attorney sa kanyang mga social media pages. So tumutok lamang po sa PHLV Radio. So, attorney, meron pa po ba kayong ibang gustong ipaabot sa ating mga listeners?
Well, maraming salamat ulit, Kuya Yo. At as we always say sa mga listeners natin and viewers natin, US immigration is always evolving. Maraming pagbabago yan, right? Whether it's Trump, panahon ni Trump, palaging either it-turn over siya ng court, o panibagong executive order. We'll wait. The Biden immigration plan is very promising and looks very helpful sa ating mga kababayan seeking work, you want to study in the US, getting a green card. Hopefully this will be implemented, and we'll discuss here at PHLV Radio kung ano man yung mga recent developments on US immigration. Kaya tumutok lang po kayo dito sa aming programa Immigration Law on Your Side with Kuya Yo here at PHLV Radio.
Maraming salamat, Attorney. I'm sure uulanin tayo ng mga email at mga text at mga message sa ating Facebook, especially sa mga kaibigan nating mga doctoral degrees dyan sa Pilipinas. Surely yan in the next few days, makakaasa po kayo mga kaibigan that we will answer your questions here at PHLV Radio. Nanggagaling po mga kaibigan sa PHLV Radio Studios here at Maryland Parkway sa Las Vegas, Nevada. Ito po si Kuya Yo on behalf of Attorney Flo Mediza na nandoon po sa Reeves Immigration Law Group sa Bay Area sa California. Ito po ang Immigration Law on Your Side right here at PHLV Radio. Every Wednesdays po kami dito sa PHLV Radio on all platforms. Mapa-Facebook, dyan sa Amazon Fire TV and many other platforms. Every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific. So we will see you next time mga kaibigan. Dito pa rin sa Immigration Law on Your Side on PHLV Radio. Take care.
Reeves Immigration Law Group has just brought you Immigration Law on Your Side. Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Pacific on PHLV Radio.